Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong and welcome to the back office teardown lab. Yes, I have my big box of calculators from Billy Sarsted, and I've got another box a bit similar to this where I've kind of been moving them as I've sort of gone through them. I haven't done them for ages and ages and ages and ages and ages and ages. So it's about time we sort of fish something out and have a go, see if we can fix it. In fact, I can see the one I want to fix. Let's have a quick look at this one. I don't really intend to look at this one because it looks a bit too boring right now. Yeah. Do we want to waste time on that one? I'll tell you what. I'll show you the two I want to do, and then we'll just attack it. So we've got this book of matches set here, which I think looks particularly onerous to try to fix. And then we have this one. Let's try this one first because it might be an easy one, and it's nice to sort of start off on something a little less challenging. I've not had great success with some of the more recent calculators, so it'd be nice to just... Ooh, crusty goodness. So there's a little bit of filth on there. I'm just looking, it's a bit dirty, it's dead dirty. I'm kind of tempted just to see if it'll fire up with batteries, so I think that's what we're going to do. So I'll have a search around my shelf of batteries. How about these ones? No. And some of these batteries are actually crusty in the pack before they've ever been used. They're sort of just starting out crusty. And I've got a card on the wall. Yes! You managed to get it off without dropping everything else. I don't know if it's me, but it looks like it's going to be an odd size. What size are there? Bottom cells. Read that. It needs some 3-volt bottom cells. I'm suspecting it's a size I don't have. Let's see. Billy threw in a card of batteries with this lot. Yeah, again, I'm thinking these aren't going to do the trick for me. The best we can do is just jam something in just to see if it'll work. So what we'll do is we'll just cut something out. Yeah, let's just try these AG12s or something. You can see they're not very popular. We haven't used many of them, so it doesn't matter. I've got cards of these, a whole other card of those. Get it out. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Look, my fingers are soft like a kitten's nose. Ugh. It will take some serious brute force ignorance to make those fit. Crikey, O'Reilly. Okay, but they do. I think you could adapt that to fit, and there you go. Oops. Come back. So where's the clear? It's weird. In certain lights that looks like an 8. Let me just get rid of this clutter out of my way. And what we'll do is let's put the back on it. I think we're done here with this one. I think this one was fine. So we're going to put the back on and the screw back in and everything. I think we were fine with that. And it took the slightly bigger batteries. So let's check this guy out. No, that's definitely a 0. Definitely a 0. 1, 2, 3 plus 3, 2, 1. What? What? Try that again. 1, 2, 3 plus 3, 2, 1 equals. Ah, there we go. We've got a value. Yeah, that works. I mean, it's not great, but I think it does the trick if you need it. You've got a percent button, you've got a square root button, you've got everything you want. Plus an auto power off and a manual power off. But, you know, brilliant. That's that. That's done. There's no better way of getting back into the swing by repairing something like that. Now we have the Xerox. This one will be more of a challenge because it looks, look at that. like a block of matches, like a book of matches, and you can see in there, just ever so, a hint of a ribbon connector. So the real challenge in this is how to get the batteries out of the right there, but it's obviously been a bit mauled in the past, so yeah, and it's still made of paper too. So we're going to be a bit gentle with this one. I'm going to take my forceps, well, not my forceps, these are tweezers. Ah, that slides out quite well, doesn't it? You see that slide out, battery bay. Can't quite tell which way around the battery would go. That side would be the contact, and we're going to take, this seems to be a bit thick. Actually, that does look like the same size of battery that we actually last used. So just like a bus, you're waiting around for ages, then all of a sudden you need 3 AG12s. But that's fine. That's alright, mama. That's alright with me. That's alright, mama. I don't even know if that is the actual words of the song. I think there's a song with him saying that. Alright, well, that's money shot. Let's go in there. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I think that's a bit thick. Yeah, it's definitely a bit on the thick side, on the portly side. Does it do anything? No. So it can't be for lack of contact, because being that thick, it's going to be giving it plenty of pressure. So that'd be more of an AG10. We can replace that with in the final version, but we can see it's just not doing it for us. I'm just looking in there. Yep, I can clearly see there's the blob of the sort of normal calculatory blob, and then there's a metal track there that this battery thing aligns to. And if we want to, just for shids and giggles, we're going to put in the AG10, that I think it probably is. And that would go in definitely that way around. Yeah, I mean that's definitely correct. So if this is not coming on, it's not because of that battery, it's because of something else, something more mysterious. And I suspect that's probably why it's a bit mauled, because there's been a lot of play on that. Someone's tried to fix it. So Billy, I don't know what you want me to do. This is of course Billy Sarsted's calculators, and this is be a very rare thing, a rare treat, a rare find, but if it doesn't work, do I try to dismantle it, or do we leave it be? It's nice it's got a staple through it too. I think that's a nice touch actually. It's got that staple through there, just like a real book of matches. I mean, the calculator itself though does appear to be like a module, in that it's a sort of totally self-contained package. Just wondering, I don't think it's a short. Just looking in there in the contacts, let's see if you could join me in looking in there. So you've got this contact here on the back, and just in there, and it'll be ever so difficult for you to see at home, there is a metal bit of the PCB there for this to touch on. I can scrape it. I could give it a bit of a scrape actually. Let me just try to get in there. Give it a bit of a scrape. Maybe that would help. Let me just pop the battery in. I'm going to put the thicker battery in, because I think belt and braces really, if anything's going to work, will be that thicker battery. Then when I turn it on, nada. Not a peep. Not a peep. I'm just trying to rule out if it's the ribbon connection, so I'm bending it around every which way. Not seeing it. Now the question is there any way of taking this apart without totally ruining it? I'm really just going to see if I can just work just an edge. ever so slightly with this blade. Tell you what, it's looking unlikely. It's a plastic unit, and it's had, I think, oh look, someone's had a go maybe. Doing a bit of a dig there, someone's had a little dig there. This paper is basically stuck, you can see there on the bottom of a PCB. And I'm just looking at how the hinge mechanism works to transmit that power, that edge of the battery. Because that'd be my worry, that that metal contact there isn't contacting whatever it's supposed to contact when it's rotated. I'm just going to see then if there's a way you could prise the PCB off from the plastic front, but again it's looking as tricky as hell, that is. I don't know why I'm whispering. For maximum. Just chomping away there, let's have a look. Okay, I think I've decided, while I was doing that, I've decided we're just going to explore. So Billy, I don't know what you wanted with this, but I'm going to assume that if possible you'd have been happy for me to do this, especially after, you know, destroying your Sinclair micro quartz clock. The trick is to try to get the staple out without damaging the paper. It's bloody tricky. I mean, how would you do it otherwise? Let's see. If you had some good side cutters, you could try to cut the staple from the top. I've got these ones I use for Kynar, but I don't know if the blades will overlap enough. They do. So you've cut the staple there. How you get another staple in, I don't know. We'll have to figure that one out. Got the tiniest amount of blue paper caught there. You can see there's a bit of white. You can flatten that paper out, hide that after. I'm just going to push through two ends of that staple like that. There we go, pop those out. Right, now you can see how it's made. And we do know, because there's a ribbon cable there, at some point this cardboard can't be separated. Yeah, there's a ribbon at the bottom coming in on the cardboard. So the cardboard is definitely an integral part of this, so we're only able to dissect it from the top part up to the point where it goes down there. Okay, so I'm just trying to hold that here. So I guess books and matches aren't really something you see anymore, whereas they used to be quite common back in the day when I think people used to smoke a lot more. So they were sort of given out as a novelty thing, you know, restaurants or even, maybe even cinemas might have had them, but certainly casinos, that sort of thing. So I'm just holding it, holding the paper aside while I'm trying to run the blade down, just to sort of get the glue. Still good on this side. Oh, there's some interesting stuff there. Looks like a manufacturer's name or something. So what would be good to do this now would be actually something a bit broader, like maybe a razor blade. I'm going to try this scissors just to see. Even a scraper might work. Look at that. We are actually getting down as far as the actual screen now. See it there, there's the actual screen stuff. Let me just work my way down a bit more. Taking care, of course, not to damage anything as we go along. There's a few plastic pips sticking up. You can see those there, but we're going to be working our way around them. Let's just start taking this now. So it's basically, before the cardboard, there's a fibre layer which has all the standoffs. But what's interesting here, you can actually see who the manufacturer is, which I think is something that we wouldn't have been able to easily find before. I suspect we're getting quite near now to the membrane, so we're going to be a bit careful. So this is the bit that's really mashed up, because this is the bit here on the right where the battery bay is. Ooh, we're almost there. I can actually see right there, that's where the membrane is joining, so that's it, it's fine, we've done it. Whew. Now that was a bit stressful, wasn't it? How marvellous. Look, that's the calculator part there, and then that's the membrane, and look, you can see that all. And these plastic pips are what actually hold this board in. So if we actually can take those pips out, we can actually get this board off. But let's see if we actually have to do that. We don't want to mess around too much if we can help it, because otherwise it's just never going to go back in, or never going to go back in right. Clear that. So you can see the circuit there. So you've got battery contact there. There's a bit of a bridge there. See right there? I don't know if that's not a button or anything. There's a bridge there, so there's probably a component there, diode or something, and that's the whole thing. And you can see quite clearly the blob and what's underneath the blob. That's nice, because you never really get to see underneath those blob things. They've used sort of clear PCB. So Hughes, that's what it looks like, have manufactured this, H-U-G-H-E-S, and it's a H457B, a Hughes H457B board in there. Let's try to open that up. So let's see how the battery, now you can see clearly how the battery bay works. We're going to put in our fatter battery now, because we don't have to worry. We've got lots of space to accommodate that now, because that PCB can bend if necessary. We're going to slide that in. Ah! You know what? You can see when you put the big battery in, it could be deforming this, you know, enough that it won't work, because there's that contact there, which is basically a wipe to this part here. So let's put in a regular size. So it just means by enough pressure here, that should be making contact. But I'm putting, let's see, I'm putting a lot of pressure there. Come on, not seeing anything. Dang it. So the only thing left to try really would be to remove these plastic pips, and that would allow us to open that out. So that's a bit of a dangerous one, but we do have our Veriboard tool here. Let's just see. When I say dangerous, I mean dangerous in that it's difficult to glue all this back after, but we do have quite a lot of handy resin. So that's one. Two. I can feel this one grinding into the PCB material a little bit. 3. God, it's hard work, I tell you. These tools aren't particularly sharp, and they're particularly specialised. So when you're using them for something like this, which is not recommended use, they're not quite optimal, but we're nearly there. So I wonder what modern stuff you could make a calculator, you know, in the form of. I had a calculator that looked like one of the old iPhones. Actually, it was quite a good calculator. I did quite like that one. But you know, you think you're a company and you're going to make a novelty thing. Well, one, I don't know if people really respect or need calculators anymore. I mean, if you think of the experience that a shitty calculator gave you, like this would, the calculator you get on your phone, even the most basic one, is way more user-friendly, and you can cut and paste the results. Even just Google search. I find I don't do many calculations, I just type them into Google search all the time. Okay. So I don't know. I think it would have to be something like a Bluetooth device, or something that's kind of useful in another way. So something that would work with your customer's smartphone. So let's see if we can lift this PCB up a little bit. I'll run a knife just along the edge here. Oh, gentle, gentle. So the screen is off. It's held on using the usual, whatever you call that, magic stuff. And there you have it. That's the use PCB. And look at that. That looks a bit crusty, doesn't it? What's that component there? Like a capacitor or something. Bit on the old crusty side. But, you know, it's probably okay. So we need to clean this up. I think that's our best bet. Our best and only hope is to clean this up. And maybe just bend the tang on there so it's got better contact with the wiper. So I've got here my fiberglass pen. Thank you very much, Brian. Fiberglass pen, always handy. And I think you must have been so enraged watching my videos when I was using various things to scrape it, when such cheap and obvious stuff exists for this. I might just try a bit of brass. Let's see. Brass is always... No. Just fiberglass all the way with this bad boy. You don't get much shinier than that. Let's get all the detritus out. So the other thing I want to do is, you've got this slight brush here. You can see it. You can come in a bit closer. And it's also part of the whole battery connector mechanism. So let's see if I can give that a little buff. And I can. It's lovely buff. Looking lovely and buff like me. So let's give it a little bend if we can. We might need to use something a bit more aggressive, like this blade. And we can. It's bent up there. So there's a tiny bit of a bend in it. That's all we need, a bit of a bend. So just make a bit of contact there. Come away. So I'm just going to bend this over now and attach it to the PCB as best as I could. I mean, that's where it kind of was. Oh! I saw something on the screen. I saw something appear. I saw the letter L, I'm sure. Did you see that letter L appear? There was definitely something appeared on the screen. Definitely. Definitely. while I'm at it, why don't I just give this magic pen a rub over that screen tracking. Even our crusty bit that was there. Right, wiggling it all around, making sure it's all locked in. Oh yeah, did you see that? We've got a number. It's doing it. It's not digging it, but it's doing it. All the fours. 40, 40, 44. 44, 4. It's kind of freaking out though. Well, I think what that means to me is we're on the right track. I think we've got the battery bit working. It's, or so it seems. As now, damn it, we're going to likely to get it working anyway. So what we should be doing now is focusing on getting the whole thing reassembled in some sort of sensible way without it hopefully falling apart. I just need a gentle brush. Where's a gentle brush? Just want to clean that. Make sure there's no stuff on it. And have a little think of how we're going to glue this thing back on. So we could either apply some epoxy, which I think is probably going to be the best way, or, which will not be the best way, but let's see if we can do it. I've got the soldering iron here. I'm going to fire up the old soldering iron and see if there's a way we can actually use the tip to melt these divots so they'll sort of lock back down in the sort of usual way. There's a lot of beeping going on here, isn't there? Right, soldering iron is now pretty much up to temperature. So I'm not going to be able to go very deep with these. Because I don't... If you think about it, the material that was there has been removed. That's what I've kind of drilled out last time. And I don't want to go too deep and then punch through to the other side here, through the front, because that'll be a bit of a disaster. So I'm wondering, while the soldering iron is on, now someone did kindly point out what to try to use as a filler material. I'm kind of looking around because I don't really have too many things here, but what's this? This is a spludger. Let's see if we can melt a bit of spludger. Yeah, sort of. Spludger might work. How about a raw plug? I mean, they're cheap and you've got loads of those. Phew, spludger stinks though. Spludger isn't a healthy plastic to try this on. So I've got to put a big bit of spludger down. Yeah, don't know if it's necessary for our needs really, or our purposes. Would like to try to do something with this hinge though. I think that will benefit from some modification. There you go. So now it's just draped over the edge a bit, so it shouldn't fall out on the first go, maybe on the second. So we've got the battery now, let's slide that in. So it's on. Doesn't seem to be... Oh, hang on. It registers 4s, so it likes the old 4s. Is it something? I'm just trying to work out, you see, is it something to do with this membrane? Or just general cackness because of the battery situation. Pop the battery out. So if we can get any other button to work would be a benefit to us right now. So let's try 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So none of those. So we'll try the on CE off. 4 worked there when I really pushed hard on it. Ah! Hang on. Did you see that? We got a 6. We'll knock it off again. Put it on. Come on. Got a 6 last time. See where I'm pushing with my right hand? My left hand rather. Usual cack. I think it's that ribbon that's done. So we had the battery bit. There's a kind of the first pass at this, but then the real issue seems to be that other thing, and it would obviously manifest itself well after bonding that back on. It's always the way, really, isn't it? Always happens that way. So we'll clear off these bits that I put on. Let's see if we can lever this out. You know, I did a pretty bloody good job, didn't it? I know where's our drilling tool? Drill out that material again. So slippy, this paper. I know that we didn't have much material to use, but it doesn't need much. Okay, start again. So the problem with that bit is that it's really, there's not much we can do. Once they go, they go. I've not yet even, never successfully really recovered one from that, but I kind of feel we're here now, so we'll have a look, see if there's a way of, removing some of that. Chances are, though, it could just be, it's nothing to do with this end, it might just be a break. Just look there, right there's a really tight fold on that. But just have a check this out in case. Oh, it's looking so good here. I mean, I really can't see that could be this, but so let's push that right down there. You can hear it. You can hear it going. Last go. Pop it all on. I think we've certainly tried our best for Billy on this one. Get all those bits clipped in nicely. Pop that battery in. Right, so it's on. No, it's not having it at all. It does not want it. It does not want it, sir. So I think we've failed on this one. Again, another failure, another calculator failure, but that doesn't stop me from wanting to close this up nicely and try to get it back to the sort of condition that it was in. So I'm going to still put the effort in here. But what I will do is, to make it a bit easier in case someone actually did want to have another go at this, I'm going to push this down onto the back. I'm going to see if I can get a staple. Bear with me 1 second. Just going to have a look over on the shelf of staples. Got our stapler here. Is it a normal size? Oh, it is and it isn't, you know, but it's close enough. So that, let's just pop our staple in. Look at that. That's pretty amazing, actually. I'm just bending those over by hand, as I assume they had to have done kind of in the factory. Poke down any sharp edges. It's still a bit sharp, but well poked. Just for the last time, shall we? Let's try again, just for shiz and giggles. So it does come on. Just to tease me, it's come on. You can get all the 6s. 4 was working last time. So that's kind of the best I think we're going to get out of this guy. 66.44. So have a wonderful Christmas, everybody. Thanks for watching. And Billy Sarstead 1 on Twitter. Sorry, I didn't get your calculator working, but you know we did get this one working, right? So it's not a total disaster. Enjoy your presents, enjoy your Christmas pud. As ever, thank you for watching.